This is WNNE TV, Hartford, Hanover. News 31, serving Vermont and New Hampshire from the Connecticut River Valley. Live from the WNNE studios, it's News 31.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Julie Beaty. Thank you for joining us. Good news tonight for people getting ready to travel home for the holidays tomorrow. It looks like the nor'easter they were predicting yesterday isn't going to hit us as hard as we thought at first. Tom joins us now with the latest on the developing storm. Tom?
Julie, thanks very much. And people living right along the Atlantic seaboard may well have some great stories to tell about the Christmas storm of 1994. But for us back here in the Connecticut River Valley, really little more than some gusty winds and a few showers. It's a very big storm, as you can see, but it's not heading on shore at all, and that means that the rain moving up over land really has slowed down. In fact, they don't see southern New Hampshire starting to feel the effects of the rain until sometime early Saturday morning. Strong northeast winds, especially during the day tomorrow, but by Christmas afternoon, you might just see the sun breaking through. We'll take a look at all of this and tell you the forecast when we come back with weather in about 10 minutes. Julie?
Okay, Tom, we'll get the latest developments later on. In other news, authorities say it was cruelty to animals, but the accused is going free. The controversial case of 22 dead sheep in East Bethel, Vermont has been dropped by prosecutors because of a technicality. News 31's Bruce Lyons has the story.
April 1994. Authorities armed with a search warrant arrive at the frozen bodies of 22 sheep, 2 horses, and a ram are found in a barn. Prosecutors allege the animals starved to death, but they never charged. Angry about the inaction, a citizens group collected hundreds of names on a petition in an attempt to force the issue. This morning, a decision was made.
I have no choice but to decline it. Back when the search warrant was obtained, there was information that was omitted from the search warrant before it was presented to the judge. It means any evidence that was seized, which is the sheep, you don't have.
Despite dropping the charges, Zimmerman maintains a crime was committed.
I think cruelty to animals definitely occurred.
Strongly disagrees with Pat Zimmerman. Power told News 31 this morning she's done nothing wrong, but still doesn't understand how the 22 sheep ended up dead. The Power property is now vacant, except for several cats and a dog, as part of an informal agreement with prosecutors not to keep barn animals for 1 full year. 7 miles up the road, sheep farmer Marcia Brown is not happy. She organized the petition drive to be charged, and she says Power got away with a serious crime.
Well, I'm extremely disappointed, but I'm not at all surprised, because it never seemed to me that there was going to be any serious attempt to prosecute this case. She should never be allowed to own another animal as long as she lives.
Brown says she will continue to press authorities to prosecute crimes against animals because often they are defenseless against cruel and inhumane treatment. Bruce Lyons, News 31, Bethel.
The New Hampshire Attorney General's office has decided a Rumney man acted in self-defense when he fatally shot an intruder inside his home this October. 40-year-old Bruce Kent fired one deadly shot from his rifle, killing 51-year-old James Piper. Piper, a part-time New Hampton police officer, was reportedly upset that his estranged wife had begun dating Kent. During their 2-month investigation, the AG's office ruled Kent had reason to fear that Piper was going to use unlawful force to possibly kill him.
Under New Hampshire law, a person is justified in using deadly force against another when the person is in his home and he reasonably believes that the other person is going to use unlawful force against him in the commission of a felony. And those are the key components of the New Hampshire law that we looked at.
According to the AG's office, Kent had learned the day of the shooting that Piper had made threats against his life. No criminal homicide charges will be pursued, and the case has been closed. Well, a Springfield, Vermont radio station, a close friend, and a Cornish, New Hampshire family. All examples that the Christmas spirit is alive and well here in the Upper Valley. News 31's Tina Detel has their story.
It just seemed like fate had really dealt them some really bad cards.
Those hard times began last year when Jim and Diane Pryor had to move into this drafty mobile home after their apartment was condemned. Even the joy over Diane's pregnancy turned into worry when it was discovered the baby wasn't developing right. Michaela is now 3 months old.
Happy girl? Huh?
Because of the baby's serious heart condition, Diane has had to quit her job to take care of her.
I think we could all learn something from this family because no matter how poor they are, there's lots and lots of love in this family, and that's something that money certainly can't buy.
Vicki told her friend's story in this letter to the WCFR radio station, and her Christmas wish was granted. Warm clothes for the children.
A lot of these people I become friendly with after. It's nice to see them 6 months from now and know that maybe that you helped just a little bit.
But the Pryors have another Christmas wish. They've already been approved for a mortgage through the FHA. All they need now is to find a home that they can buy. And they'd like that to be right here in Cornish, so their children can stay in the same school.
Nice teachers and as nice friends.
That's why they settled on these cramped quarters a year ago.
Well, as far as being here with the kids and all, there's not too much room. We change times. One sleeps on the bed one night, one sleeps on the floor the other night, because that's the only room they can have to sleep in.
What would your Christmas wish be?
Oh, be able to find
a bigger place to live.
But in some cases, it's not the size that counts. Tina Detel, News 31, Cornish.
Coming up in sports, Patriots set for tomorrow's showdown in Chicago. Mark will be in with a preview. But first, see how some area Girl Scouts learn the true meaning of Christmas this holiday season.
And all the details of the forecast and what you can look forward to if you're traveling over the next 24 hours, I've got those, so stay tuned.
Extra help this year from some elves here in the Upper Valley. And the Haven, a homeless shelter in White River Junction, gratefully accepted the toys that came out of this extra holiday cheer. News 31's Becky Freemall has the story.
Not all of Santa's helpers live in the North Pole. These elves made and delivered toys right here in the Upper Valley.
Oh, wow.
Girl Scout Troop 659, along with Dana Robe's Furniture, did their part to make someone else's Christmas a little happier.
We still had a little extra wood, and what we decided to do was something to do with that for Christmas was to turn it into building blocks for local nonprofit organizations.
A couple of the girls learned how to make the toy blocks.
If you want to look, what you're going to see is these were cut right off the saw, so you're going to have some very sharp edges, which we need to sand those so that it's smooth.
Then brought their know-how to the rest of the troop.
The girls got the most of their holiday spirit this year. Not only did they have a Christmas party of their own, they also got to sand blocks to help those less fortunate.
They're really excited. They're really excited about the spirit of giving and doing something for someone else that maybe needs a hand up in the world.
What did the girls like?
I like sanding it for some reason. I just like sanding.
And how do they feel about helping others out?
Well, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about helping other people. And a homeless shelter who doesn't have really a lot of toys, and for children, it makes me feel good.
After all of their hard work, Troop 659 delivered their toys to the Haven. A gift not only made of wood, but of hope that the true Christmas spirit still exists.
I find it to be a very inspiring time of the year. Seeing girls come in, like the Girl Scouts, for example, with the blocks that they have, very carefully sanded down for the guest children in the shelter. So I find the children to be very, very inspiring, and it certainly gives me a hope for the future.
Becky Freemall, News 31, Lebanon.
Well, in case you missed it earlier, better travel weather this weekend than we had thought. Tom to the weather map now with another look at how the nor'easter is shaping up. Tom?
Great travel weather, Julie, especially if you're headed north and west away from the storm. Towards it, still a few problems. We'll get you all the details, though, so you stay tuned.
News 31 is brought to you in part by your New England Lincoln Mercury dealers.
News 31 weather with Tom Hoyt.
Well, here's the important news, right? Not what we'd expect heading into the Christmas weekend, but hey, it could be a lot worse. And the good news, looks like ski country is going to escape unscathed out of this winter storm. Temperature dropping, humidity on the rise, pressure dropping, and the winds are picking up. High temperature today, we get to 42. Sunrise, it will be cloud covered tomorrow at 7:20. Well, here's what the computer models are saying tonight. You go from about Bennington to Londonderry, over to Springfield and Claremont, and then to about the Wilmot area and into the Lakes region. If you are going north and west of that, well, this weekend is going to be a windy one, but don't expect anything more than just a passing shower and maybe even a little bit of sunshine late on Christmas Day. Obviously, great news for the ski areas in both Vermont and New Hampshire. In fact, it is looking like the major element of this storm is going to be the wind that we feel here in northern New England, peaking at gusts at 25 to 45 miles per hour, certainly during the day tomorrow, and on the coastline that will cause some problems with flooding and with beach erosion. Now, the storm right now is causing the posting of various watches and warnings all the way from Maine down to South Carolina, a fairly large area. That's because this is a fairly large storm. South Carolina today, look at that. 2 to 7 inches of rain, wind gusts up to 65 miles per hour. It's a very big storm. It's actually started out as 2 storms that right now are starting to link up and get into a position here off the mid-Atlantic coastline, but now just sitting and spinning. That means the rain right now moving into the Boston area. It will move into southeastern New Hampshire by about sunrise on Saturday. But as we showed you, Hillsborough, Merrimack, Cheshire counties of New Hampshire, you'll get wet, but I don't see it pushing that much farther to the north and west. That's because, by definition, it's a nor'easter. It's a coastal storm, and that's where the worst weather will be this weekend. You're traveling tonight, Burlington, Lebanon, Manchester, no problem. But if your flight is going to Boston, New York, or Philadelphia, you may have some problems. Skiing, as I said, everybody is going to escape, and northern New Hampshire is just going to be great. And the best news of all, Patriots tomorrow right here on TV 31 at 1 o'clock. Believe this, in Chicago the day before Christmas, partly sunny and temperatures near 50 degrees. We'll take a look at our forecast one more time. That's next.
This holiday season, Stacy's fuel.
Then it got worse, and then it got better. Cloudy and drizzle tonight. Windy, some fog around 2, temperatures in the middle 30s. And then tomorrow, the rain moves from southeast to northwest, but gets about midway through the Twin States and will stall. Saturday night, things start to clear out a little bit, maybe a shower around in the evening as temperatures cool off. And then on Sunday, hey, not too bad. Christmas Day, diminishing winds, some sunshine around, and we get more sunshine on Monday and Tuesday. So once again, if you're heading towards the coastline, it will be very windy. Winds have picked up around here, but all in all, not too bad, and it looked a lot worse 24 hours ago.
I'm glad to hear it. So are the owners the Grinch that stole baseball, or
Well,
what?
it certainly looks that way, Julie. A tip of the cap from the baseball owners. We'll have that story and more sports stuff coming up next. Stay with us.
Attention antique dealers, the Pleasant Street Antique Center is looking for you. The Pleasant Street
News 31 Sports with Mark Asciolla.
Well, baseball players and owners strike out. No new solution to ending the strike, so the owners have implemented a salary cap, something the union was, of course, dead set against. The Players Association plans on filing an unfair labor practice charge. As of now, the cap eliminates salary arbitration and creates restricted free agency for about 63 players. Who knows when we'll see this 4.5-month strike end?
Certainly, the dispute goes on. A contract still has to be negotiated, and it has to be resolved. And I'm hopeful that the parties will soon see how to get back together. And at the present time, I stand willing and ready to assist them in any way.
Initially, I want to say that this certainly is a sad day. It's regrettable. I'm reasonably certain that the owners will come to regret it sooner than they may think.
Well, the Red Sox make some moves today, releasing pitchers Tony Fossis and Chris Nabholz. Both were used sparingly during the strike-shortened season. All right, the Patriots are in Chicago for tomorrow's season finale against the Bills. A win puts the Pats into the playoffs for the first time since 1987. We have it for you right here on TV 31, beginning at 1 o'clock. Now, the players know it doesn't get any bigger than this.
How big is this game? It's really big. It's a real big game. You know, it's very big. You know, you just have to go, you know, just approach it and, you know, try to win.
They do all the little things. You know, they're a very disciplined team. I think they're the fewest penalized team in the NFL, you know, so they do it all. They control the ball. They don't turn it over. So they do a lot of things not to beat themselves. So as right now, I think if they go in the game looking at it like that, it's going to be like that again. They're going to do the little things, and we got to do the little things. So in turn, it's going to be a pretty good game.
Should be. The Celtics host the 76ers tonight. Xavier McDaniel is expected to sit this one out. He has a groin injury. Meantime, Dominique Wilkins returns to the lineup after having a sore ankle problem in the last game. Suns and Rockets last night in a marquee matchup. How about Vernon Maxwell takes the long pass, steps back, and says, yes, I shall nail the three. A couple of Dannies here. It's Marley to Manning who lays it up and in. And, of course, there's another Danny on the Suns team. He's Danny Ainge, the former Celtic. He and Mario Elie get into a little bit of a tussle, same as in last year's playoffs. No rough stuff, but watch what Ainge, you think this is a little retribution by Danny Ainge? Watch what he does with the inbounds pass. You got to love this. Look at this. Yeah, right off the noggin. Rockets win it 114 to 106. Marquee matchup tonight in boys high school basketball. Hanover and Lebanon playing.
Okay, that had to hurt.
Smart.
We'll be back with more right after this. For us here at WNNE, we say goodbye tonight to Mark, who is leaving us after 5.5 years. He's going home to Providence, Rhode Island, to the CBS affiliate there, where he'll be a reporter and an anchor. And, you know, it's one of those times where it's hard to know what to say. You've given so much to us, and hopefully we've given a lot back to you, but you're going to be very much missed.
Well, it's certainly been a pleasure to be here since May 4th of 1989. It's tough to believe 5 years, 7 days, and 7 months and 19 days have gone by since I came to the Upper Valley, but it has been. And in case you don't know, Mark Sudol, who does mornings here and is a reporter, will be taking over these duties beginning Monday, and we certainly wish Mark Sudol all the best. And if he's treated half as well as I've been treated in the Upper Valley, he's going to have a great time. But you know, Mark Sudol was not the first choice for the job. This person had to turn it down. Kevin, roll this tape. Take a look at this.
Hi, this is Asciolla, and this is sports. Norwich native Jim Holland is a disappointing 46th in yesterday's Olympics large hill ski jump. Holland will have another shot in Friday's normal hill competition, but says his performance is a hard pill to swallow.
It was obviously a real disappointment. We've been having a tough time on that big hill, just as a team, really. For some reason, we just really haven't been able to get the rhythm of it.
Be Like Mike has taken on a new meaning. Former Bull superstar Michael Jordan is hoping to break in with the Chicago White Sox. Here's what the future might hold for Jordan, according to basketball's biggest mouth.
White Sox and the Cubs, and Chicago is absolutely going bananas. It is going wacky, and up steps Michael Jordan with everything at stake. He takes the fastball, baby, it comes down the pipe. There it goes, baby, it's going, it is gone. He is the 3S man. He is super scintillating, sensational.
I'm Adrian Scholl, and that was sports.
So there you go. The next great sportscaster is himself right now, 10 years old in Providence, Rhode Island, and someday may be sitting in this very chair. But I do want to thank WNNE for the opportunity to work here. All the anchors I've worked with in 5.5 years, Brett Davidson, Tom Melville, Bob Burnett Curie, Mindy Todd, Maureen Hayes, Diana Jones, Julie, Tom, and of course Beth Sheldon. All the players and coaches, especially new Oxbow skipper Stretch Gillum. And I'll tell you, if my son could play for one coach only, it would be for Stretch. And of course, to all of you at home for watching, it's been a pleasure, and I will see you down the road. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Well, that's our report tonight. Thanks for watching, and if we don't see you back at 11, have a Merry Christmas. Good night.